Carl Edwards leading the NASCAR Nationwide Series race at Phoenix, presented by Craftsman, with now just 16 laps to go. And Carl, next time by, will tie for the most laps led, and 2 laps from now will be the driver who has led the most laps and get 5 more valuable bonus points. Kevin Harvick in second spot, Joey Logano in third. Another top 5 for Logano if he can hold on. Denny Hamlin fourth, and Clint Bowyer is fifth.
Top 5 guys have all done a really good job today. Harvick came back from a bad pit stop, and the other guys had to come from the back of the pack. Landon Cassill's back in the 8th spot from the very back of the pack. He crashed qualifying, so in a backup car, he's driven up into the top 10.
Let's listen into the Clint Bowyer radio.
Heard that voice beforehand.
Oh, yes, sir. And you know, RC knows how to make this thing happen as far as winning a championship. And his top 5 finish, if he just stays right there, is just as good as they could expect to do here. That's a great job by the team. Try not to force anything and risk that top 5.
We talked about Landon Cassill from the back of the pack with this 5 car. His last ride in 2008 here in JR Motorsports, and doing a heck of a job after having trouble in qualifying, starting shotgun on the field, and now trying to take the 7th spot away from a pretty good race driver, Kyle Busch.
It seems like ever since Kyle Busch had a little contact with that left front fender, he's just not been as good. But Landon Cassill's done a great job.
Yeah, it's a really nice job all day long. Driving up through traffic, missing all the problems on the restarts. Good solid day for him.
His best finish of the year was 6th at Gateway, and he'd like to be able to take this spot away from Kyle Busch, maybe move in on McMurray and equal or better that. And this is his final race of the season. By the way, it'll be Dale Earnhardt Jr. driving this 5 car next week in the season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway.
And also, while we were away, the 88 car finally did have to come on to pit road. He had a cut right rear tire, so that not only lost a lap on the track, but then had to come down pit road. He's 2 laps behind in 24th now.
Carl Edwards now officially has led the most laps today. And if he can just hold on here and not let Denny Hamlin or any of others get back up there, he will get 10 points total for leading the most laps. And Landon Cassill takes a spot away from Kyle Busch. Let's update the 20 car, Joey Logano. Mike.
Well, Doc, as you mentioned a little bit earlier in the broadcast, there's some uncertainty regarding his future, possibly. Now, as you might imagine, in this day and age with technology, the Blackberries lit up in the 20 camp. J.D. Gibbs actually came over to me and said, look, let's put an end to all this rumors. He is in the 20 Cup car in 2009.
There we have it.
There we go.
That's the way you get it done.
Thank you for clearing that up, JD. We just walk around the garage area and talk to different people in that team and others, and they say, well, we're not really sure. In fact, somebody even asked Joey on the airplane coming out here, and they were a little, there was some comments there as well.
Well, he's done a really good job in this series, and obviously you can see him driving the Cup car, and you know, he struggled a few races with that, but that's to be expected. He's going to have a number of those days, but he'll also have some very good days as we get back to our leader, Carl Edwards, who's closing in on another victory, doing everything he can possibly do to make this a real battle when we get to Homestead next week.
He's been doing that for quite a few weeks now. I mean, he's just doing everything he can do to try to win these titles in both series.
Yeah. He's leading the laps, winning the races, putting all the pressure he can on Clint Bowyer, but Clint's been able to hold up here. He came back from what could be could have been a devastating day.
Let's also give his pit crew a call while we watch this battle right here. His pit crew got him off pit road in the lead, and that's really the key thing. That clean air was able to get him out front and lead all these laps. Oh my goodness, look at this.
3-car battle on the racetrack, 7 laps to go. David Reagan, Mike Bliss, Mike Wallace at his 9th, 10th, and 11th position.
Oh, here's another spot for Landon Cassill. Going by Jamie McMurray.
If he can get by, it would equal his best finish in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. He has now got the 6th position.
Nice pass right there. That's hard to do. Drive down in there. The tires are old, and things are pretty slick out there right now. It's the longest run we've had today. Green flag, and we got a yellow.
Yellow's out. Yellow's out.
This is when we talked about the longest stint we had. Might have another
Marcus
melted
Ambrose.
bead right there. That's what that looks like.
Whoa.
Well, we've only got 8 cars on the lead lap.
Fire, Jack. Be ready.
Damage on the right side of his Ford. Marcus Ambrose bringing it in, and they'll try to get tires on and get him out on the racetrack to finish to get those valuable points. Remember, he's one of those drivers we talked about trying to stay in the top 10 in the point standings.
Well, we're watching these leaders, see what they're going to do here with 8 laps to go, 6 laps to go.
The problem here is that we can see Marcus Ambrose have a problem right there. That's where the tire lets go and into the wall.
It's just like
If
what
they
we
could-
saw with Scott Wimmer. Instead, Scott Wimmer was on the straightaway.
Well, Kevin Harvick looked like he was going into the pits, but he came back out onto the track. I thought with Carl Edwards staying out there that they might hang him out there, and all of the guys left behind him might come in and get tires.
Clint Boyer is in the pits in the 2 car, 5th place car. Remember, we saw this happen a couple of races ago in the Cup Series with Jimmy Johnson late in the race, putting tires on and being able to make a move.
What makes this a good move is that you kind of put him on offense. He doesn't have to worry about somebody wrecking him from behind with new tires. What's going on, Jamie?
Well, they reminded him there's only 10 cars on the lead lap. They told him to pit 4 tires, 1 can of fuel only for the 2 car guys who made his way all the way up to 5th. Good stop, 14.6 flat. He's down and away.
Problem here is he's got fewer laps and not as wide a racetrack to pass on, so that's going to make it more of a challenge than what Jimmy Johnson had.
And a shorter racetrack, too. This is just a 1-mile racetrack. These laps go by quickly.
And restarts have been somewhat of a calamity here this afternoon, so he doesn't want to. As you can take a look at his hood, he can figure that one out. But he's got fresh tires and now a challenge to get there.
But here's the problem for the crew chief. He doesn't know how many people are coming behind him. And if they're the last car that did not come down pit road and everybody comes down pit road and gets tires, you're the first one they get to, and you're going to get wrecked or lose a ton of spots. So put them in a really kind of a tight spot right here.